Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mo.
How are you?
I'm good.
I love your background.
Well, thank you, Mo.
Hey there, Sister Pamela. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Wonderful. I'm so glad you had no problems getting on, right?
No, I didn't.
Beautiful. Yeah. This is not your first Zoom, is it?
No, it's not. But I haven't been on Zoom in a while since last year before my stroke.
Oh, yes.
Or
yes,
after my stroke.
Yes, yes. So, well, just welcome.
Yeah, Thank you.
Yeah. So, Bert, I'm so glad you got your material. She's in Jackson, Mississippi, and she got it.
Say hi to Mo.
Hi, Moselle.
Hi, is that Dr. Gina?
Oh, this is Tasha.
Stacy, how are you?
This one's Tasha.
Huh?
It's Tasha today.
Oh, okay. Hi, Tasha. How are you?
I'm good. I'm over here with Mama before I go to class to teach.
All right. Okay. So I tell you, that background is really saying something.
She's prepared for the weather.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is gorgeous. So is Monique going to join us tonight?
I have no idea, but I think she said she was.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to run to my printer and get some stuff. Hi, Dr. Gina. How are you?
Hi, Moselle. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How was your day?
It was good. Can't complain.
Wonderful. Hi, Marvy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Moselle?
I'm doing great. It's great to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to run to the printer and I'll be right back.
All right, you should be good. Okay, you're set. All right.
Okay.
Is that all you needed?
Wait a minute.
No, I can't sit for an hour and a half now.
Yeah, no,
I think you'll be good. I think you'll be good. So you should be able to, if somebody comes to your door or if something happens, you can, if you tap the screen, you can. So you're unmuted, so you can talk.
So, Katrina, can you hear me?
Yes.
How is it when you have the virus protection and you still get a virus? What's that all about?
It's called oops technology. Everything doesn't work. It's the same thing as getting vaccinated and catching the flu. Okay. Same thing.
Oh my goodness. You know, you pay all that money for virus protection and then they told me I had a big fat virus.
I know. I know.
Oh, I love your hair, Katrina. That's cute.
Thank you.
You look like a little girl.
Oh, geez.
So, oh, Dr. Gina, you're on tonight. It's so nice to see your face.
I'm going to show my face today.
Oh, there you go. What a beautiful face it is.
Oh, thank you, Moselle. Not as beautiful as you are.
Oh, thank you. Pamela, look at your face. Aren't you looking good?
Thank you. And so are you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Pamela and I met at at our new fitness club. We have this beautiful state-of-the-art fitness club right downtown. And
wow.
And we just got started talking and she just signed up and here she is.
Here I am.
God is good, isn't he?
Yes, he is. All the time.
Everybody's got these beautiful fall colors. And hey, Mr. Isaac, how are you? Did I call your name right? Dr. Sheila's husband?
Looks like they're frozen right now. They're trying to get it
Oh, okay.
Did Joby text you back? Because she didn't respond to the email, so I'm not sure if she got it or not.
Oh, okay. Let me see. No, she didn't. So. So we have 4 minutes while we're waiting. Anybody wants to talk about something exciting that may have happened to them? Bert, you had anything exciting today that happened?
Bertha's on mute. She might not have heard you.
Yeah. So Marvy, what about you? Anything exciting happened today or this week?
Not really. You know, I went to get a lot of fruit and I did some exercise. And that's about it.
Oh, okay, beautiful. So what did you use as your grocery list?
I used my brains because I didn't have it on right here.
Okay.
But I got the book today though.
You did? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
They said the people in Mississippi would get it today.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good. So now you have everything you need. You just have to sit down and read it.
Yeah, I do. But you know, some of the stuff I've already done.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. I just somehow just quit.
Yeah. Well, we all have to get off track sometimes, you know.
Mm.
That's why it's good to we have to get reminded of this stuff so very often because there's so many distractions out there in the world to try and get us to forget. Hey, Gemma.
Hi.
How you doing, girl? You made it.
I made it. Yay.
So what was the problem? You didn't get the first
Yeah, I had
email?
something last Tuesday, so I went to the YouTube the next day. No problem.
Okay, but I mean, in terms of tonight, you were having trouble getting the email?
No, I had no problems. I just had a couple questions from last week.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, we can talk about that after this program. I'm so glad you made it. Hey, hi, Watha, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. Still in the land of the living.
Oh,
highly favored.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. How isn't that beautiful?
Excuse me, Moselle.
Yes.
Moselle. So Joby is unable to get in. Is it is she in the waiting room maybe?
No, she's not. There's no one in the waiting room.
She just called Mama and said she couldn't get in.
There's no one in the waiting room.
There isn't. Okay.
No. I just got in. Huh.
I'm in net. I just got in. Can you hear me?
You just got in too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have her to double check the member ID and everything again. Make sure she just used the correct one for this week.
You know, last week I was having a lot of technical difficulties, so tell her to come out and come back on again.
Okay. Hey,
we definitely want her to.
Hey, Joby.
To be successful.
Hey, this is Tasha. Listen, what is
So, hi, Wafa, you guys had a good time yesterday. People are coming in, still coming in.
Yeah, people are still coming in.
Oh, really? She said it does say that she's waiting on the host to let her in to start it.
So what does that mean?
In the waiting room.
Joby, so you did look and make sure you're not at the last session. You are in the correct.
What is the ID number?
Okay, let me go back and look at the
It's
ID
860.
It's 860. Okay, it's 860
9826.
And what else, Katrina?
9826.
9826.
Okay.
9275.
9275.
Okay, that's something different then.
Okay, she just had the wrong one. Thank you, ladies.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. And everybody,
Moselle, this is Annette. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
All right. I'm fine. Thank you, dear.
Wonderful. Wonderful. From maybe Michigan, right?
That's right. That's me. It's about 45 miles outside of Detroit.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
What's the population there?
I don't know, maybe 5,000 or 6,000.
That's why they call it maybe,
5,000 or
right?
6,000, I would say.
Maybe, huh?
Maybe not.
Moselle, my packet came in the mail today.
You are kidding, all the way in California?
Yeah, right when we finished talking, I hung up, a mailman came and there it was.
Oh my God.
I received my package also.
The post office is really on the ball. So everybody should have theirs if the folks in California got theirs.
Oh.
I don't have my Moselle.
You don't in Pennsylvania?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, wow.
She sent a packet.
Yeah, well, after I'm finished.
Well, I have mine and maybe.
Hi, Amy, how are you?
Hi, great to see you. Wonderful. Beautiful out. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it a gorgeous day here in Michigan?
It was beautiful today. I went sunning.
Did you really? Hi, Wanda.
You metabolized your vitamin D.
They say that after today, though, it may not be that beautiful. So we usually give everybody about 5 minutes to get on, and then we'll start with Hiawatha. Hiawatha will give us all a relaxation prayer intro, and we are just so glad to see everybody, and we know how technology can mess up, because last week I was in a tizzy.
Yeah.
I had to do it on my phone, but at least my new phone does act better than my old phone. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Moselle.
How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Beautiful. Oh boy, that's a brilliant statement. Aren't we all blessed and highly favored?
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is such a gracious. It's like family, seeing family again, and then the new people in the family, that makes it even better. So everybody's got their, I know you haven't had time, you're just getting your packets. So next Tuesday, we'll all have our packets in a 3-ring binder, and we will have studied it, so we'll know where everything is. And we'll be very familiar with what's in it. We will have cleaned out our refrigerator. We will have bought all of our new fresh living plant-based foods, and we will all be able to say, "Let the games begin." You know what they say at the beginning of the Olympics, let the games begin. So that's where we are today. So everybody start getting things cleaned out and cleaned up, and telling your brain, because the brain is listening. Tell the brain, hey, no more of this and no more of that. And because we're ready to get serious about this, about health. Okay, so Hiawatha, I guess we're ready for you.
Okay. Let's pray. Almighty Heavenly Father, we come before your throne of grace and mercy. We come by the power of the Holy Spirit in the name of Yeshua the Messiah. We come asking you to bless everyone on this, attending this meeting tonight. We ask that everything be done decently and in order. We also ask that you give us self-control in all things and be with us and guide us and direct us and help us to make healthy lifestyle choices in all that we do and all that we think. We have to think positive thoughts. We should eliminate negative thoughts. We should discourage negative conversation from our friends and relatives. We must discourage negative conversation from our friends and relatives if we are to enjoy good health. So these are all blessings we ask in Yeshua, Jesus' name. Hallelujah. And now we'll do our breathing exercise. Breathing is very important to oxygenate the cells of the body. And I do an easy breathing exercise that I call square breathing. And what you do, you take a deep breath, then you exhale, and then you take 4 deep breaths, hold it, then exhale for 4 deep breaths, and then don't breathe again until you count to 4. So let me take you through it. And when I say in, first I want you to take a deep breath, as deep as you can, and then exhale. Then I'm going to say in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Then take another deep breath, deep as you can, and then exhale. Always breathe in through the nostril and out through the mouth. All right, now we're going to do our laughter exercise. And it's important that we learn to laugh. I would like for us to laugh for no reason. Don't try to have jokes in order to laugh. Just laugh anytime you feel like laughing. Just laugh whenever you feel depressed. Laugh when people upset you. Just laugh, laugh, laugh. It's a great morale booster, and it improves relationships. It relieves stress, depression, anger, and anxiety, and increases productivity. Laughter is a natural painkiller. It improves memory and concentration. It burns calories. So if you want to burn calories, start laughing more. It destroys and limits to our thinking. It opens us up to new possibilities. And laughter can assist in the process of problem solving, and it strengthens the immune system. So see, there's a lot of benefits for laughter. So let's practice the laughter. Now we're gonna laugh the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. And so we laugh each one 3 times, and it goes A. calories and lose weight. Now that's a simple way to do that. So thank you for your participation.
And thank you so much, Hiwaza. We appreciate it. That I know everybody's feeling more relaxed and more calm and getting into the spirit of what we're getting ready for tonight. So welcome, everybody. It's so great to see all of you. And if you want to become familiar with everybody, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and look at the very first program where we had introductions. And that will give you an overview of who's on. So the first thing on the agenda the second thing on the agenda is I'm doing a series called Blessings in a Bucket. And it is something that I'm writing a book on this and wanted to get my outline down, and you know how we procrastinate. So I wanted to get an overview on paper so that everybody can experience what I've experienced. And I'm sure many of you have had many experiences with foot soaking. And so there'll be 7 or 8 different topics. And the first one is the benefits of soaking your feet with hot water before bedtime. And I just can't say enough about we've got the wrong one up, Katrina. I can't say how much this has been a blessing to me. I don't care if you have some anxiety, or you've had a rough day, or your feet are hurting, or you had too little or too much exercise. It is so important to soak our feet. I do it almost every night. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to show the right one. Katrina, is that going to be possible? Because it's the one that we skipped last time because we couldn't. At any rate, while Katrina tries.
Can you see it?
I'm sorry?
Can you see it?
No, what I'm seeing now is the agenda for session 2.
All right, hold on, let me pull it over. I have to stop and restart.
Okay, no problem. So while Katrina is pulling that up, let's think about it. The feet in these introductory sessions, those beautiful feet that you have, that God has given us, there we are. So, and this article really doesn't get into the different things you can put in your water. It's just focusing in on very warm water or very warm water or hot water. So you could almost do it without putting anything in it. But I like to put essential oils, and you don't have to have a lot of essential oils, just the ones that are calming and that are relaxing. But we'll have a session. We'll have a 5-minute session on the oil. So today we're just going to talk about some of the benefits. So, and then next session, we'll talk about the biblical connection. So we know that the benefits of soaking your feet before bedtime, and let's just set it up, because let's say you get in bed and you are mentally stressed and you're fatigued, or you have a emotional situation going on. You don't want to get up and find your bucket and find your hot water, and you want to have all this set up so you will be ready. I keep mine right in my bathroom under my chair, my bucket and my towels and my oils, and get the hot water out of the sink. And so page 2 goes into what it should look like, what you should have. You definitely need a bucket. and you need some hot water, as hot as you can stand it. And you need the water level to be right above your ankles. And you need to soak it at least 15 minutes. And you want to just, while you're doing it, sometimes I'll read something, sometimes I'll just relax, sometimes I'll listen to music. I always have my diffuser on. Make sure you have a diffuser going, and my diffuser goes on first thing in the morning when I wake up, and I turn it off when I leave. So you want to get yourself a nice diffuser from the brand I recommend is Now, N-O-W. It's about $35, $40, and it lasts forever, and it's one of the best. So you have your diffuser going, and it's just so inspiring. So the next thing, you want to have some socks or slippers to put on after you have your setup going. So the third page shows some of the procedures that you will undergo. You want to you want to make sure that you have your bucket or your setup and you're comfortable. So now let's go to the benefits. So I'm going to go over about 7 or 8 benefits, and the first one is it helps relax your mind, body, and soul, and it's amazing what putting your feet in hot water will do for you. And if you have a significant other, it would be so nice to do this for that person. Bring that pan or pail of water that's hot, have them put their feet in it, and oh my God, they will just melt in your hands, melt in your arms or wherever. So it relaxes, and it certainly counteracts insomnia, and it's a really good way. It's really wonderful therapy for your entire body. And we'll tell you why the feet are so important. I mean, for one thing is that they have a connection to every single body, every single organ in your body. The second benefit, it relieves pain. It relaxes the muscles and nerves of the leg, and it allows the blood to flow through your body so much better. And you'd be surprised how the pain, once you go back to bed, or once you go to bed, the pain is gone away. You no longer feel it. And it's just like magic, but it's so amazing. It opens up the blood vessels, it stimulates the circulation, and that's the third one. It improves blood circulation, and it strengthens the heart, and it relieves all that stress and pressure that you've had that has been building up for a while. So it allows the heart to pump properly, and it improves the blood flow, just like a cardio workout does. The fourth benefit, it simplifies the kidney functioning. It enhances the functioning of both kidneys. It helps the kidneys, as we know, help discard waste from the blood. So soaking the feet in hot water will speed up this functioning, and by warming the blood veins and the blood vessels. The next benefit is number 5, it clears the skin. When you soak your feet with warm water, the skin pores will open up. It will lead to smoothing your skin because it cleanses up the dirt and the oil that's in your skin. Number 6, it decreases flu and cold. I can't tell you how many times I've had a cold symptom, I've had cold symptoms or flu symptoms coming on, or something that feels like it might be COVID, I just go right to my bucket and get some hot water as hot as I can stand it. And that feeling goes away, it vanishes. So you can definitely decrease flu and cold symptoms. It takes away the mucus from the walls of your throat, and it automatically leads to a reduction of cold and flu symptoms and even COVID. Number 7, it decreases your mental exhaustion and stress, and it relaxes your mind and your soul. When you get relaxed, you will forget things that create mental stress. It leads to what we call relaxing mode on. So, I mean, it's amazing that this happens. And sometimes you don't feel like, some people say, well, I don't feel like getting up at night or taking out a bucket and filling it half filling it with hot water, but it's worth the effort. Because you'll almost fall to sleep in the bucket. As soon as you get back to bed, you go right back to sleep. Number 8, it relaxes your muscles by increasing blood circulation. Just like, that's why we go to the gym. That's why we walk, because we want to increase blood circulation so we can get more oxygen to the brain. And number 9, it eliminates fatigue and tiredness. The blood circulation in the leg gets a severe impact. So by soaking your feet, you eliminate the tiredness. Number 10, it prevents foot odor because it softens the feet, and it causes the elimination of dirt and oil within a half an hour out of your feet. And so it eliminates the dirt and the mud and the harmful toxins. You can detoxify right there in your feet. And number 11 is the feet detoxification. So the benefits of soaking your feet with hot water before bedtime, these are the final words. They discard toxins. It improves the nervous system. It offers clear skin. It decreases swelling. And you and your significant other can do that. And then you two can do it together. You can do it for somebody else. You can do it certainly for yourself, but do it. I do it almost every night, certainly 3 or 4 times a week. And again, the reason is because there are more nerve endings in your feet than any other part of your body. So we'll be going into more on the feet in our next session. Thank you. So our next item on the agenda is the Dr. Yvonne Barnes. All of you, if you haven't gotten your packet, you will be getting your packet pretty soon, and we've asked you to read those little 30 pages or so. And I know many of you don't have time, or many of you haven't done it, or you may forget. So Dr. Barnes is here to go through 8 sections of the guide. And we want you, if you have your guide, take it out and turn to it as she does. Good. Hello, Dr. Yvonne. God bless you and thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Yvonne Jefferson Barnes, a cousin of Moselle Scoville, and it is my great pleasure to be able to share with you at this time information from the 30-day Eat to Heal Challenge Handbook. We're going to begin with our discussions or sharings on pages 7 and 16. Those pages deal with the 1-week daily menu. Now, before I share this, I just want to say how important it is for you to take some time to review this information personally. It really is helpful to understand exactly what it is that you need to do to ensure that you are successful with this process. Okay, now, day 1, morning, water with lemon. Day 2, water with lemon. Day 3, water with lemon. Day 4, water with lemon. Day 5, water with lemon. Day 6, water with lemon. And day 7, water with lemon. So you can see how important it is to be consistent in utilizing the specific items that are being recommended here. Okay, so for the first 7 days, water with lemon. And it is being suggested that you use warm water in this process. Mid-morning, you're going to have celery juice, 8 to 16 ounces. And again, you're going to have the celery juice for 7 straight mornings. Now, following the mid-morning celery juice, you're going to exercise, and the recommendation is for 30 minutes. Now, make it fun. You can ride your bicycle, you can walk, you can dance. There are many things that you can do. The important thing is to get your body moving and energized. Then mid-morning, after you've exercised, you're going to have coconut water, 8 to 16 ounces. And again, you're going to have that for 7 days straight. Following your coconut water, which is absolutely delicious. I've had the coconut water. It is invigorating. It's delicious. You're going to enjoy this, believe me. But you're now going to move to the green smoothie. Now, 7 days again, but you do have some variations with this. So day 1, you can have the healing cleanse. Day 2, hair detox. Day 3, green apple ginger. Day 4, hair detox. Day 5, the healing cleanse again. Day 6, green apple ginger. And day 7, healing cleanse. All of these are absolutely delicious. You're going to be very, very surprised as you move through this if you've not done this before. It's interesting how delicious these items are without adding any other ingredients than those that are being recommended here. Now, you're going to drink the liquids that we've been talking about until lunchtime, but only until lunchtime. And to support you with this, there is an intermittent fasting guide that's provided in this booklet with specific instructions as to what it is and why you need to do it. Lunch is next. For lunch, you can have salads, sprout, and energy soups. Recipes are provided, so you don't have to guess about what it is that you need to put in these items or how you need to put them together. Mid-afternoon, fruits, melon, berries. Just enjoy yourselves, okay? But be mindful that bananas and grapes should be used sparingly. Again, you can enjoy them, but you use those sparingly. And again, you will be told why as you read your guidebook. Dinner. Energy soup, day 1. Day 2, broccoli, mango salad. Day 3, avocado wrap with lettuce. Day 4, energy soup. Day 5, sunflower pate. Day 6, pizza salad. And day 7, the energy soup. Again, guidance is provided in your handbook, a guidebook, regarding how to prepare all of these items. Then 2 to 3 hours before bed, you want to have warm tea or morning juices. And the morning juices have been provided in terms of the kinds that you may have. And you're going to do this for 7 days, okay? Water, tea, or morning juices. Let's talk about these teas. Peppermint herbal tea or smooth move tea may also be utilized. Lime can be substituted for lemon, and warm water is more cleansing. Warm water is more cleansing. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and apple cider vinegar dressing. I've tried this particular dressing, and it is delicious. Believe me, you won't even miss the others. I was kind of concerned initially myself, but believe me, it is really good. Use stevia as a sweetener if needed. Refrain from eating 3 hours before bedtime. Do not drink liquids with your meals. Again, to be supported, visit the website and HTS recipe book for smoothie and many other recipes, or Tropical Smoothie Cafe. You are really being given wonderful information to support you as you go into this new and different program. I can attest to the fact that this program works. You're going to feel so much better having done this. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you found this beneficial. I look forward to sharing more with you as we move through the sessions. Thank you again, and take good care. Let's all enjoy our lives to the very best and fullest. Bye-bye.
Amen. That was beautifully done, Dr. Yvonne, just beautifully done. I'm just amazed that she just brings the guide alive. And again, it works, and you will love it. And remember, get ready for a detox. And thank you so very much. And you're going to have plenty of support to help you through this with your questions and with your reaction to it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now we are ready for the 5-minute video review on our book. I hope all of you have gotten your book, The Telomere Effect, Living Younger, Healthier, Longer by Professor Elissa Ipo. And this book is amazing. I'm on my 3rd Audible read, and each time I hear something better and different and understand it better. So with that, Linda Stewart is doing this series for us, and Linda, we appreciate it so very much. So God bless you, and let's listen to Linda tell us about the telomere effect.
Thank you, Moselle. And thank you everyone so far. This has been a really great class today. I have to admit, I have had the opportunity here to learn like you. I certainly knew a little bit about telomeres, but I'm really grateful and excited to be reading this book, as well as the videos that we can watch. And video 52 was extremely interesting to me. It's very short, and it was with a professor named Alyssa Appel, who actually has done nearly, I think, 20 years of research with a lady out of Australia that was a Nobel Prize winner for discovering what I'll share with you in a moment, a telomerase, which is one of the things that causes our telomeres to stay healthy. So the entire video helps us understand what is it that causes aging, and why is it that telomeres are one of the most researched parts of our cell, and how is it that we can extend our life. And what they have found is that we can have the same two people, for example, she shared, that pass away, we pass away at the age of 80. One of them may have faced 20 years of illness, aging, pain, and suffering, where the other one may only experience literally a couple months. So what is it that causes, what she shares is the word biological age. So we all may be the same age. However, for example, if we're 70, we may have what's called a biological age, where they have ways to measure our age, which may be 55 or 60, where someone else at 70 may actually have a biological age of 85. So she shares how it's not longitudinal. It actually is dependent. There are people, she said, that age 1 year after a time. There are other people that age, we all know when we have a dog, 1 year equals 7 years. She calls it the dog years, where they actually age more than what our age actually is. So it's called compression, and she goes into sharing how there are 3 things inside every single cell that we have. We have mitochondria, we have telomeres, and we also have stem cells. Now, I was not real clear on what a telomere, and I'm probably saying that wrong because I've said it that way for 40 years. But if you take an X like this is our gene. We are born with our genes, which actually map out our entire life. They actually, our genes are so important. We come in with a DNA, a script that causes our cells to mutate, to grow. And the most important thing is that these genes and stay healthy. But what causes our genes to be healthy? At the end of this X, where our fingernails are, is a perfect example. This is where the telomere resides. So on this X, we have 4 telomeres on every single telomere in our body, and we have thousands of them. So the telomere is the key to keeping the gene, the genome that multiplies our cells every day to keep them healthy. So if these telomeres, all the research has shown that if telomeres decrease in size as we age, then the health of the telomere decreases and actually causes a cell to die. So she explains how this telomere is affected by what they call a telomerase. And what happens if in the cell, the telomerase, which is, I think it might be an enzyme, I could be wrong, is actually connected to the health of the telomere. So the interesting part of this is that if they take away the length of the telomere, and they take away the telomerase, the cell will die, absolute death. If they fill the cell with a long, healthy telomere and the telomerase, the cell becomes immortal. And that's in all their research with animals. And they have found the importance of our aging is directly related to telomeres. So that's why getting this book, watching this video is really exciting. If you don't have the book, I just went to the library today and they had it. So they're actually at the libraries. So what I'd like to go into is a little bit of the research that she did. She calls it the Science of Renewal. And what is it that causes it? It's a brand new term, and it has to do with the science of aging. Prior to all this research, no one really knew 20, 30, 40 years ago, why is it that people age? But they have done and looked into all of our cells. And to see that these telomeres, the length of these telomeres affect our brain, our blood, our organs, our body, our red cells, our white cells, and they house our genetic code. So how can we keep our telomeres healthy? I think that's what we're here for today. How can I understand the decades of research that has been in this, is what she discusses, to keep them healthy. And it's actually very complicated. There's many things. But the interesting thing is she says that at the age of 50, they can actually go in, look at our telomeres, and actually predict what diseases we may have. And that's pretty profound, that even by that age, which we consider young, right, actually shows our future 10, 15, 20, 30 years. She goes into 3 topics that she covers. One of them is called stress and depression, has a tremendous effect. I'll go into this very quickly. The other one I found very interesting, and it goes back to Hiawatha today. Number 2 is happiness and social connection with others. I thought that was amazing. And then number 3, why we're here today, is our daily habits. So the interesting thing about stress and depression is that they have shown so many studies that studied caregivers, and that these caregivers actually, depending on their perception and their stress, can actually decrease the length of the telomeres or even increase the length of the telomeres. So she gets into very deep suffering, and she says we're all going to suffer. But if we have things like depression, abuse, neglect, aging, that actually can cause our telomeres to reduce in size. So we sometimes have to look not only at ourselves, but what have people gone through? What was their childhood like? What kind of things did they face that actually affect our health? And also she talks about the importance of biological stress. They looked at things like insulin resistance, hormone imbalance, inflammation, stress hormones, turning on a fight flight. If we are under tremendous stress where the autonomic system is turned on, we actually reduce our telomeres. So taking a foot bath, doing meditation, the things that we're talking about today can actually keep that telomere from decreasing. Depression, I had already mentioned, and stress. So she also shared that really important research studies have shown that one way to actually boost, we've all heard this, our attitude and our depression is waking up every day and giving gratitude. That in itself can actually turn the whole cycle around in our body. And they have actually proven that it actually not only holds the telomere, it can increase its length. So I thought I found that absolutely fascinating. I wanted to share, if I may, excuse me, the importance of the silver lining. She was very specific and interesting about this, and it has to do with suffering. She said there is a very amazing lining to suffering. And she said that we're all going to have it happen to us. But the importance is when we are in it, and I know this is very difficult, is to somehow be able to see either God or spirit or ourselves and to see it in some kind of positive light. And I'd like to share a story that I went through today. But she gave this beautiful statement that I love by Kahlil Gibran. She said, out of suffering, there emerges the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So if we can look at suffering as something we're going through, but yet have hope. I know I refer to Hiawatha and Moselle, but I had very little hope when my husband had cancer. And I think the one thing that Hiawatha gave me is that you cannot ever give up on hope. She would repeat that over and over those 2 weeks I was going through that detox. And her belief in cure caused me to be able to believe that. And for that, I will always be very grateful. But the biggest part of this that I found were the two other things. One is love and connection. The importance of us connecting with each other, having loving relationships, having positive relationships. And I think the biggest thing for me was her mention of people that are aging. And what can we do? She said the biggest thing that we can do is to remember those that are our elders, to go see them, to care for them, to call them, to visit them, to love them, to let them know that you have not forgotten them. That can actually keep people alive. People suffer from loneliness. So I just feel that that is such an important message today. And then she gets into number 3 in regard to our telomeres. It is what she calls daily habits. And there's one that I really want to point out. So her ones are the quality of our sleep, which Moselle just covered. We cover exercise. It doesn't mean it's more physically being active, actually lengthens our telomeres. Meditation, which we've talked about. But number 4 is diet. And that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for today. She talks about what's called the rainbow effect and all the research that's been done on eating all colored veggies, all colored fruits, and that all of these studies have shown that the whole foods diet along with the Mediterranean diet is what she calls the antioxidant and the anti-inflammatory diet. And that they have all of these studies that actually show that this diet actually is parallel to telomeres staying strong and is directly proportioned to our anti-aging. It lowers anxiety and actually causes us to reverse aging. The other thing I wanted to share was our purpose in life. Sometimes we have purpose. I went through a very tough challenge this last couple years with COVID. I had built a business for 35 years and COVID has affected that. And I lost all my purpose. Completely lost my purpose and went into such a severe depression. But now all I can say is something happened in my life. Purpose is back and I'm like a brand new person. Part of it's being in this class. part of it is studying this. It's being connected with people again. So if we can find a way to find purpose, we can actually keep our telomeres healthy. And I wanted to share a story, just really quick, if I may, because I'm so excited about this. Today, I called Hiawatha. Hiawatha's kind of my rock. I have an uncle and an uncle that actually was diagnosed with lymphoma, not only 3 months ago, and he died within 8 days being diagnosed. And my aunt, my father's youngest sister, Aunt Irene, she moved here to Grand Rapids and went in for her regular Medicare check and came out being diagnosed with lymphoma, a different kind of lymphoma. And Aunt Irene is only given 4 months now to live. So it's been 2 months, and I saw the results of the EEG, and 50% of her body was filled with this cancer. It shows up white on a screen. We're talking the brain. I'm going to cry, so please excuse me. We're talking the brain, we're talking the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the intestines, the bone marrow. 52% was filled with cancer. And there was a part of me that wanted to give up. And then I remembered Hiawatha and how she held me up. And I thought, even if she does not live, the one thing that I can do for her is to give her hope, to be with her, to spend time with her, to give her a massage. I got out the foot rub. We're doing the foot massage every night now. She's doing it with her daughter. There are things that we can do. Got her into raw foods. So she had only four treatments. They are not chemo, and they are a medicine. This doctor at Butterworth, I want to share with you, does not believe in chemo. So he put her on a program, and the interesting thing is the chemical in this medicine is like a telomere. This is what he says today. And this protein, whatever it was in this medicine, actually the center of it attaches to a protein on the cancer cell. So she had 4 of those infusions. So today I met her at Butterworth, where I had done my own internship 48 years ago. And we went into the doctor to see the results of this medicine. And his goal was to see if this medicine in this kind of a figure actually worked, where she could actually get more treatments. We went in, he showed, I will send a picture to Moselle. He took a picture. He showed 8 weeks ago all the cancer that's in white. Then he shows a picture of her recent 3-hour EEG. I see so little white on the screen. He says, this happens, but I have never seen anything like this. He said, your aunt is not in remission. She is 80% cured. The brain, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the intestines are completely cured of cancer. She has 20% left in her bottom of her spine and her hip. And now she's going to be put on another very low dose of another medicine. This one will probably be more of a cancer type of treatment. And his goal is to totally eradicate this for her. And I said to him, I don't know if this can be possible. And he said it is. And he said that, I said, do we have another? I was still confused as much as I've researched cancer. I said, do we have 6 months extra? Do we have a year left? She was only given 4 months. I said, what do we have left? And he looked at my Aunt Irene and he said, Irene, you will have possibly years. So I wanted to share this with you because number one, we can never give up hope. We can do, if anything else, if we can teach people about raw foods, even if they're only given 4 months, we can teach them about foot massages. We can teach them about foot baths. All these things that we're learning today can be used to help people get better or just to be with them, just to be with them and to love them. So I love this about learning about telomeres, and I hope you're enjoying it. And I want to thank you for the time.
Amen. Thank you so much, Linda. That was excellent. Oh my God, this is such a beautiful amount of information, and we're trying to get it all in an hour and a half. So we just thank you for that blessed review, and keep in mind that you can go to the website and catch the rest of it, because we may have to cut out some things tonight because we're not going to be able to get it all in. But thank you so very much. God bless. So next we have Stephanie, who is giving us the overview of the first part of the book. Stephanie, thank you.
This is Stephanie, and I am one of the video reviewers for the book called The Telomere Effect, a revolutionary approach to living younger, healthier, and longer. This book is written by Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, and Dr. Elisa Epple. So this book is a New York Times bestseller, and it is co-authored by a Nobel Prize winner who discovered telomerase and telomeres' role in the aging process, and the health psychologist who has done original research into how specific lifestyle and psychological habits can protect telomeres, slowing disease and improving life. This book actually has me excited. This is something I've never heard of, and it is interesting. I've only read a couple of chapters, but the chapters that I've read are very interesting, and they are opening my mind to something I've never knew that I even had the power to do. So I'm going to jump right into it. So the first chapter is basically telling you introduction. Is called A Tale of Two Telomeres. And telomeres are, I don't know if you've ever seen the DNA, what DNA looks like. They had a picture of it in the book here. Here it is. So this is a chromosome. And these little ends right here, the little white ends, are telomeres. And what they're trying to get us to understand is that telomeres are like the little ends of shoelaces. They're called aglets, that keeps the shoelace ends from fraying, so that when you put them through the hole, the shoelaces will slide right through. So the telomeres are basically the same thing. It's the ends of the chromosome that keeps the chromosome from fraying apart and losing the DNA sequence. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. Based on how long those telomeres are is based on how many times that cell can replicate itself. And once a cell cannot replicate itself anymore, as we know, if it does not go into the dying process, it can turn cancerous. So it's kind of basic science that they talk about in this chapter. If you already know a little bit about cell reproduction, mitosis and things like that, then you would understand that chapter a little better. If not, then it might take you a little bit of research to kind of get caught up on that. So with the telomeres, telomeres can, the longer they are, the better, basically. And you can get them shortened by different aspects of your life. And they talk about nature versus nurture. A lot of people believe that it's genetics that causes you to have the issues that you have in your life, your health problems and things like that. Some people say that it's your fault. It's nurture. It's how you ate. It's how you didn't exercise or things like that. And that's why your lifespan and you get diseases and things like that. But the book actually talks about both. And both of them are actually very crucial in the development and lifespan of people and the quality of life that they can have for the length of time that they can live. So I hope that makes sense to you. So it's very interesting because a lot of people live to be over 100 years old, where some people don't. They actually talk about two made-up characters in the chapter, Kara and another lady, where Kara and the other lady are both the same age, but one of them is declining in her health, whereas the other one is very youthful and full of energy, even though they're the same age. And some people may argue that, oh, it's because Kara didn't take care of herself and the other one did, but really it has a lot to do with both. So this book is going to go through each chapter and tell you more about telomeres, more about how you can reverse it. Because the cool thing about telomeres is that even though you could genetically get shortened telomeres from your parents and from DNA, you can lengthen them. Like, this can be reversed. You can build them up. So just because you started off with short ones doesn't mean that you can't lengthen it. So you can reverse the aging process. You can reverse what they call the disease span, which is the span of time you have in your life where you're disease ridden and you're in pain and inflammation and things like that. And the quality of your life is lowered. So, so we can reverse that with exercise. They said something about even doing like mindfulness training and meditation. That also helps lengthen telomeres. Eating, it talks about how telomeres do not like processed meats. So just getting processed meats, sugary drinks, things like that can shorten your telomeres. So if you just cut those out of your diet, you can reverse those shortened telomeres and make them longer. And throughout the book, it'll talk about more things about what you can do and how you can improve your lifestyle. So I kind of feel like it's something that we kind of already know, with diet and exercise and things like that can help, and reducing stress in your life. Those things, if we do that, can strengthen our lifespan and reverse our aging process and give us a better quality of life. And that's something that we kind of already know. This book is just giving you another idea of why it's important to do those things and the science behind it. So I'm really excited about this book. I hope that you guys are too. I hope you are reading along. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask any questions to all of the knowledgeable women and men there at the seminar. And I hope to hear from you guys, and I hope that you guys will learn so much in this seminar that it will change your lives and change the lives of your loved ones, because once we are back in control of our own health, the sky's the limit. We can do so much for ourselves and our community. And so I will do chapter 2 next week, and I hope you guys have an awesome time. Please be open-minded and ask a lot of questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Amazing. That was excellent. So I guess most of you can see now why most people take this program. Most people are taking this program the 3rd, 4th, or 5th time. It is just so much to learn about this body that we have, and so much that we're trying to pack into this hour and a half. So now, our speaker for tonight, Dr. Bob Mccauley from Lansing, Michigan. He runs the Watershed Bob and I have known each other for a long, long time. He's been plant-based for a long, long time. And he's amazing and knowledgeable. So let's hear what Bob has to say about the telomere, rejuvenation, healthy self. So God bless all of you. And Bob, welcome.
Hello, everyone at the Detroit Health Club with Moselle and company. I hope everybody's having a great day, and you want to learn a little bit about health. So we talked last week. The next talk I'm going to do is going to be about the thyroid. This talk, it will be about telomeres. What is a telomere? It's not a telephone, but a telomere. So, you know, I guess you can telephone, tell a woman, or telomere. That's just a little joke I made up. So, you know, my name's Dr. Bob Mccauley. I'm up in Lansing, Michigan. If you haven't seen me before, I own the Watershed Wellness Center. I've been there 30 years. I've been at 2 different locations. Right now, I'm just a little bit west of the airport. Watershed.net is my website. YouTube, it's really Watershed 11 or Dr. Bob Mccauley. That's my YouTube channel, the one you're watching now. So let's get right to it. I'll kind of go, as I go through, I'll tell you about a few different things that I've done through the years. I'm an author. I've written a lot of books. But what is a telomere? The telomere are nucleotides at the end of your chromosomes, and they can contain all this DNA information. And we won't get too technical because in the end, I'm not any kind of an expert in telomeres, but I do know how to keep them healthy. So they're at the end of your chromosomes, and then when your telomeres go away, that chromosome, that cell is going to die. So you need to have replication of the cells in a proper way. So we're going to talk about a few things that I suggest that you do to keep those telomeres in good shape and make sure that you know, they don't get too short, because once they get too short, then that cell dies, and that's how you age. So there was a documentary a while ago called The Immortalists. You can look that up. I did a rebuttal to it. I think this is the medical professional, medical establishment, the scientific world, trying to show us how we can live forever. We're going to play around with things. We're going to play around with nature, and we're going to fix those telomeres, so you're never going to die. So this is sort of that's why they call it the Immortalists. And there's just there's some TED Talks by this guy, and you know, he's just going to save you know, the world from dying through telomeres and giving us these, you know, these drugs, or I don't know what they are. He's given himself a lot of injections. But you can kind of take a look and see what the scientific world is, how they're approaching this. I'm approaching this through nutrition. So I'll just be clear about a few things. So how do you keep your telomeres you know, good and in good shape, and making sure that they are always rejuvenated? Well, you don't do it on a cooked food diet. You certainly don't do it on a junk food diet, like, you know, going to, you know, fast foods and eating a lot of fried foods. And of any kind, doesn't matter. Fried foods are just absolute poison. Frying makes the water taste great, but it's poison. So stay away from that at all costs. Frying your foods, and then fast foods, you don't even know what's in there half the time. You know, some of the horrors we're hearing about, that what they put in these fast foods. So stay out of the fast food joints. You know, me personally, I always say I haven't eaten anything out of a box or a jar or a can for, it's been 40 years. You know, I just don't buy anything. I mean, I go to the produce section, and that's pretty much it. So stay away from processed foods. You don't know what's in those foods. And so that you know, a lot of it has to do with diet. So if you want your telomeres to be, you know, rejuvenated and looking good, and you stay healthy and live a long life, and don't have your life cut short, well, then you want to live on a raw food diet. And the more raw fruits and vegetables you have, because, the healthier you'll be and the more telomeres you'll have. Why? Because they're full of enzymes. They're organic. They have a negative charge. They're alkaline. They alkalize the body. All raw fruits and vegetables have a rejuvenative property to them. So, whereas you see all cooked foods, they really just provide us with sustenance, nothing more, nothing less, just sustenance. That's it. So at any rate, this is why I don't eat cooked foods. They taste good, but they're not the path to health. Now, the other thing you want to do, before we get to a few products, is you want to stay hydrated all the time. So if you wake up in the morning, you're drinking a cup of coffee, you're eating something, you're not staying hydrated. And so what you want to do is get up in the morning, have a big tall glass of water. It should be well-filtered water or spring water, but the best water of all is alkaline ionized water. I wrote one book called The Miraculous Properties of Ionized Water. That's on Audible, by the way. I've got 4 books on Audible. My latest book is The Cure in the Mirror, Nature's Protocol for Surviving Cancer. And so that's my cancer book. And then I've got one on silver and infectious diseases and how you can cure yourself of any infectious disease. And then I've got one. My latest one is called, the temple he was referring to with his body. About this is your temple. Your body's your temple, and when you get sick, it's because you started putting the wrong things. This is my cat. She won't leave me alone here. So when you put the wrong foods in your body on an ongoing basis, you're not honoring the temple. So if you're sick, it's because you're the cause. All disease comes from our diet. I was in church this morning, and the priest said, "Well, people just get cancer. We don't know why." Well, I know why. You put your body in a toxic environment, and cancer shows up eventually. You're no longer. These foods don't. This is a junk food guy, by the way, and so he kind of goes to a lot of fast food places. He loves pizza. I love pizza. But anyway, so those are the first things, and then of course, where are you going to get your protein? Well, you can get it from the animal world. Right? You can get it from meat, fish, eggs, and dairy, which these are inferior foods. They're just a middleman. There's nothing nutritious about them. We always cook those foods. We're back to cooking. If you were to eat them raw, you wouldn't get sick, but we never eat protein, meat, fish, eggs, or dairy raw. You very, very few instances, maybe sushi or something like that, but I wouldn't trust the fish that's out there these days. That's another issue. I wouldn't trust the meat you see in the supermarkets. That's another issue. Even if you went out and shot a deer and brought it home and processed it or whatever, that's the best kind of meat you're going to eat, but you're just eating a middleman. You're eating the food they're all vegetarians, so you're eating the food that ate the plants and taking them in. So if you want to keep those telomeres rejuvenated, that's where you want to start. Okay, make sure you take probiotics, the friendly bacteria. These are all things I promote and I sell myself, and I have for many, many years, and I'm learning more about it all the time. But let's get into a few products that would really, or a few things you could take that can really rejuvenate those telomeres. That's the first one. I'm going to say, in my favorite one is CGF, which is chlorella growth factor. This is the heart of chlorella. It is concentrated chlorella. It's 100 times concentrated chlorella. And that has a huge amount of nucleic acids. What are those? That's RNA and DNA. There's RNA. So nucleic acids are the blueprints to our cells. So when your cell goes to divide, if you don't have the RNA, well, they are just not going. You're not going to get the same copy as you had. You're going to get a diminished copy. It's like the old we used to have the mimeograph. And when if you took a mimeograph, it was like an early copier, and then you made a copy, and then you took that copy and you made another copy, you could see sometimes there had been like 20 or 30 different copy of a copy of a copy of a, well, by the end, you could see, well, there's a really old copy of a mimeograph that's been copied many, many times. Well, that's what happens to your cells, and that's what's happened to your body. So this is why you see people when, you get older, you get to be, you see 30 to 40, okay, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and then suddenly, when you see 70 to 80, then people start dropping off the map. And then when you look at 90 to 100, now they're completely gone. They just drop right off. Well, they've lost all these, these diminished copies. They're just a faded copy of what they once were. You look at the elderly people. You're just a faded copy. You didn't replace the nucleic acids that you require in the body. The other place I get those is from a particular yeast that I sell. The name of the product is RNA, but it's fragilis is the yeast, and it's got huge amount of nucleic acids in it. Pretty amazing stuff. I really don't know anyone else who sells it or has ever talked about it, but you can kind of look that up. You can look it on my shop site, shop.watershed.net, and you can see RNA, that product, and it's got huge amounts. It's a lot more less expensive than CGF, chlorella growth factor, which is really the best immune system builder in the world, by the way. So, but you're taking that chlorella cell and bringing it down. So, again, what I use for my protein, rather than animal protein, is spirulina and chlorella, the two most powerful foods in the world. And what we should use for our protein rather than animal protein, meat, fish, eggs, or dairy. So that's where I get my protein. And, people are just obsessed with meat. Anytime I make a video about meat, I get attacked. I mean, it's always been the same. And I tell people all the time, I don't care what you eat. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you put into your body. I'm talking about health. And they attack me, and meat is healthy, and meat is not healthy. And especially, as I said, we cook it. So this is not a healthy food. It's just sustenance. And then, there's, this CGF, chlorella growth factor, where we take the chlorella cell and then we get rid of everything except the nucleotides and nucleopeptides and the nucleic acids and the polyphenols, all these things that are just really, really high concentrations in the food. And so now you just concentrate that down. You take that. It's, like I said, the best immune system builder that I know of. And so I highly recommend you take that one. So that's chlorella growth factor. So this idea that, you have to give your body the cells, we're back to the chromosomes and the telomeres. If those are not fed, if you don't give yourself these high concentrations of nutrients, such as nucleic acids, these telomeres are just going to kind of go away, and, they're going to, get shorter and shorter. And again, when the telomere goes down to nothing's missing, then the cell dies. And so now you've got cell apoptosis, and it's a big problem because, again, and you can see as people lose those over the years, it's almost like a time clock. It's telling you you're going away. Well, you can always rejuvenate those. But it's not easy. You've got to stay on this kind of diet that I'm on, Mosella's on, Hiawatha, Cromer, she's on this, the raw food diet. It's, God grew an apple. We made a frying pan. You can improve on God's creation. So quit trying to do that. Just know that the best foods are already out there. God created an apple. That apple tastes good, but that apple pie, boy, I'll tell you something, that tastes fantastic, right? Well, it's all about the taste of your food. People, for the taste of their foods, that's what controls your destiny in the end. You love the taste of this hamburger so much, these French fries so much that you allow them to make you sick. And then that controls your destiny instead of you. So the other thing I'll recommend is something called NAD. That's nucleotide monosaccharide, and it's NAD and NADH. So this is really nicotide. There's riboside and there's monotide, and then there's the NAD. This is what really rejuvenates the cell. And we're talking about the mitochondria. I have a product called Mitochondria Renew, and it's got NADH in it. It's got a couple of the precursors or the activators. You got to have those along with it. But this is what give the mitochondria. This is end up where we produce ATP, and which is Endocene Triphosphate. That's where we get energy. So the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and this is what needs to be rejuvenated. Because again, we go back when that cell goes. Otherwise, these telomeres get shorter, and when the cell goes to divide, It's not there. So NAD or NADH, which has become kind of popular lately, and people are finding out about this more and more, you just got to keep feeding that cell NAD, and it takes a long time to build up. Not a long time, but you can do it within a few weeks. If you just take some NAD, it's going to make you feel pretty good. But you want to get, as you live on a raw food diet, your body is naturally, giving you NAD. But it's okay to supplement. Something I supplement with all the time is ribose. Ribose, and this is all related to each other. It kind of gets complicated, but I like to keep it simple because let's not get into the science of all this stuff, because who's really interested? I mean, I'm kind of a nerd about this stuff, but we want to know the short part of it is, what do I do? What do I put into my body so that I don't age? Well, NAD is one of them because that's feeding that mitochondria. It's called the name of my product is called Mitochondria Renewal. And it's so what that does is the NAD reacts with the ribose, and the ribose is what you need to make your body's energy. So there's three things. There's something called Endocene Triphosphate, as I said, ATP, and what that is endocene molecule, and then triphosphate, three phosphate molecules, and then you put that together with ribose, which is this dextrose. It's found through every cell in your body, ribose. And as you get older, you live on the wrong diet. We live on home-cooked foods, are really healthy. I had so many people through the years demanding that, we make right out of our garden, we take it, we've got healthy food, and we go out and shoot our own game and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's better than going into buying something in a box or a jar or a can. But when you cook it, it's just, it's like really, not really terrible health food or junk food, but it's certainly, again, it's just sustenance. You've cooked the life out of it. It tastes better when you cook it, but I don't cook my food, and that's why. So I'm really determined to be healthy. By the way, I'm 65. I just turned 65 a couple weeks ago. Still running a 6-minute mile because that's what I like to do. I like to run, but 6-minute mile. I mean, I could run a 5-minute mile if I kept training. I'm not really interested. I just like being in good shape, and this is what I can do at 65. I'm clear-headed. Last talk I did, the last one was, I think in April or so, I talked about the brain. And how you feed the brain constantly. Alpha GPC is one of phosphatidylserine. These are just things that you feed the brain so you're clear thinking. You've got to have that that brain fog has got to go away. And now we're talking about the other end of it, the telomeres. And is this mitochondrial health is so important to have that ATP. If you're tired all the time, first of all, supplement with ribose. Ribose is very, very inexpensive. I sell ribose. It's under the name Ribo Energy, and that's what it does. It's making this ATP. That's where you get energy in the body, in that mitochondria. And I'll tell you, a lot of people think, well, you're burning carbohydrates and you're turning them into sugar, and your body's burning the sugar. It's got nothing to do with that, nothing at all. ATP, that's the source of energy, and that's what we're talking about here when we talk about the mitochondria, these chromosomes and these telomeres that at the end of it that you've constantly got to rejuvenate. And so those are the two, NAD, okay, that product that I have, and so that's where we do that one is, we get rejuvenation properties in that sense from those supplements as we get into feeding that mitochondria and renewing it and always giving it the nutrients it needs so it can rejuvenate itself and rejuvenate those telomeres. So you can grow those telomeres longer, but I guarantee you're not going to do it on a junk food or a cooked food diet. You've got to have the right water. You've got to have the right kind of protein, spirulina and chlorella. You don't need a lot of protein. If you take a small handful of spirulina and or chlorella with every meal, that's all the protein you need. And then if you want to eat meat, fish, eggs, or dairy, that's just for the taste. That's not going to do anything for you. And it's expensive, really. To live that way. It's really very expensive to live on a cooked food diet when it comes to your health. People say, well, you got to spend all this money on raw foods. I can't afford it. You can't afford, first of all, it's not that expensive. But you can't afford to stay healthy. You've got nothing in life if you don't have your health. I mean, if you're laying in your deathbed, what good is, gee, I didn't spend the money to do what's right. Don't ever put a price on your health. That's what I think. That's my message. So another one I'd recommend is Mucuna. Mucuna pruriens. And that reason I like that, and I think that's the best herb in the world, Mucuna, M-U-C-U-N-A, Mucuna. I take it every night before I go to bed. I never miss. That's got L-Dopa. And it's the only herb that I really know of that has a large amount of L-Dopa. I promote and I sell a 15% concentration of L-Dopa. Well, that's what they give to Parkinson's patients. And the reason they do that is because it feeds anybody with a neurological disease really, has these kind of problems. And so they give them L-Dopa. Well, L-Dopa is a precursor to dopamine. So you're producing dopamine, and it makes you feel a little bit better. But the dopamine will eventually begin to produce melatonin, serotonin, all these things. And then eventually HGH, human growth hormone. And that is one of the big keys to longevity, is human growth hormone. Now, we produce that, or just people call it growth hormone. We call it HGH because it's human growth hormone, because you really can't get, BGH, bovine growth hormone. So that's for a cow. And so you can't really take this growth hormone out of anything and start giving it to yourself. You have to produce it in your body. It's like nitric oxide. You can't take nitric oxide. You can see all these products out there, nitric oxide, and they're going to make you work out. What you need is L-arginine. That's an amino acid. I take that before every workout. That opens up those arteries. It's really excellent for that. So that's one of the most important things. And again, I take it right before I go to bed, because you produce HGH 1 hour after REM sleep, so after you've been dreaming, so about 1 hour afterwards, and then, or 2 hours afterwards, sorry, and then 1 hour after physical exercise. So when you're really working out hard, especially like you're weightlifting and you're running hard, I do it every single day. An hour later, you'll produce HGH. And if you have the L-Dopa there, and the Mucuna, which is, again, I don't want to go out and buy L-Dopa. I know people that have Parkinson's, and they take this L-Dopa that's given to it. It's artificial, and they don't get any better. But I got another woman. She's got advanced Parkinson's, and she comes in and she buys huge amounts of this Mucuna, and she's doing fantastic. And by the way, she went on a raw food diet. She's 75, so you got to give her credit. 75, went on a 100% raw food diet, and she said literally about 2 or 3 weeks after this, she came back into my store. She goes, "This is the first time in my life I have not been constipated." First time from just going on a raw food diet. So, and of course, as I said earlier, I promote other things too, obviously mineralization, the probiotics, the friendly bacteria, digestive enzymes, so you can break things down, fermented foods. These are all really good, and they're good for your overall health. But again, it always comes back to diet. People just want to live on the diet, the foods that they like to. They get up in the morning and they've been, eating Wheaties all these years. They've been eating, Cheerios all these years. These are just garbage products. I mean, they just fill you up in the morning. So, okay, so Mucuna, that's another really important one. And one more that I would recommend, is for longevity and for these telomeres and what they are, how we can rejuvenate them at a cellular level, is with the best product I know of. There's one called D-aspartic acid. You can look that one up, D-aspartic. But that will help you produce testosterone. But that's what you want. And the best way to do that is with Tonkat Alley. But you really got to look at from a hormone level, hormonal. So now we're into the hormones, and we want to produce testosterone. So just remember that everybody needs testosterone, and women need half the amount that men need, because men need testosterone, and then we have estrogen, and then women need estrogen and less testosterone. So, but you need both, because you cannot produce estrogen without testosterone. And by the way, just as an aside, completely avoid soy at all costs. Okay, this is really a terrible. It's got a lot of estrogen in it. It's a different type of estrogen, so they say your body doesn't absorb this. Stay away from soy. It's one of the worst foods on the planet, no doubt about it. So, It's an emergency food. So if you were dying or something, you could take it. But as far as that, this is really a terrible food for so many different reasons. Phytohemoglobin's PhD, that's, it's blood glue. So it just is something that really slows down mental functions. It's really bad for you. And it slows down, libido. So that what that's telling you is that it interferes with testosterone. Just as an aside, reishi mushroom, which is a great mushroom, it also interferes with testosterone. And it's good for cancer, all sorts of other things, but I don't take a lot of reishi because I want the testosterone. You can look at, if you show me your hormone profile, I will tell you what age you are internally. So in other words, you're 25 years old and I look at your hormone profile, I can say, well, that's like a 60-year-old man. And I can look at a 60-year-old man who, and this guy who's 25 lives on a junk food diet. He's already looking like 60 and he's 25, 30 years old. And vice versa, if somebody lives on a really good diet, they're 60, you look at those hormones, and I can tell you right away, that guy, that's like a 30-year-old. That's like a 25-year-old person. And it's all because of the hormones. The hormones are the conductors of the orchestra of your body. They're telling you what to do. This is why you don't want to drink milk. You're eating you're drinking or eating or whatever, the hormones of another species. I mean, that's what milk is, because that's why milk delivers hormones. The human body, or the human milk, I should say, has 23, different hormones in it. Well, there's 46 in dairy milk. Okay, so what are those extra hormones doing in there? Even if it's all natural, it comes right off the, farm, it's next door, whatever. It's the best kind of milk. If you're going to drink it, you'd want to do it raw. But this is not, again, you're putting hormones into your body that, really just don't belong there because, they're just, not meant for a human being. By the way, we're the only species that lives, drinks the milk of another species, and the only species that really on the planet that kind of drinks milk from another species. Like you look at cats, they always like to drink milk, that sort of thing. Well, look, they can't digest milk, and you see a lot of them that get sick right after they have it. So, keep your cats away from, we got 5 cats, I know, keep your cats away from dairy products of any kind, because they don't really digest that when you're thinking maybe they are. So, that's the other product is Tongkat Ali, because comes from a tree root in Malaysia. But that is that provides the most amount of testosterone for the body. And actually what it does, it doesn't promote or the production of testosterone. What it does is it keeps it in its free form. And so you're always producing this testosterone, but as soon as it becomes bound, meaning it finds a receptor, now your body can't use it. And that's almost always what happens immediately is, you can't get this testosterone because it's immediately bound, whereas Tongkat Ali allows it to stay in that free form. So now you're getting testosterone. So, and that is one of the other keys to longevity. So that's about what I have to say about telomeres. It's a repetitive DNA sequence at the end of the chromosome. It keeps them from becoming tangled with each other, because once they become tangled, the chromosomes and everything, now they're just a mess, and you can't reproduce. You get a diminished copy of that cell. And that's what I said. So this is what you're trying to avoid. You want to keep everything. You should try to strive to be the person that you were when you were born. And as I said, down through the many, many years, you become a carbon copy of yourself, and a diminished copy, and a diminished copy, and a diminished copy. You even look at yourself as a young man, and then look at yourself as a young woman, and look at yourself as 70, 80, 90. You're saying, what's going on here? Because you're not rejuvenating that cell. So we talked about being on the right diet of raw fruits and vegetables. We talked about water, what kind of water to drink, and making sure you're sufficiently hydrated. That goes for the brain as well. Then we talked about spirulina and chlorella, making sure you get the right protein. Alkaline ionized water is the best water to drink. living on a raw food diet, those are all really important. There's not any product or anything you can take. You can supplement and help, but you can't supplement your way to health. You have to, it all comes down to the diet. Then we talked about CGF, chlorella growth factor, or chlorella extract, that has huge amounts of nucleic acids. Also fragilis, which is a type of yeast that has huge amounts of RNA in it, nucleic acids, and that's for that cell, so it can. Those are the blueprints to your cell. Nucleic acids, RNA, that's the blueprints, and so whatever you're eating food that's got RNA in it or being injected with anything with RNA, that's rewriting your DNA. It's rewriting your biological substructure and the substructure of the cell. Then we talked about NAD or NADH. Nicotinamide, and that is a really, really important thing that we need to to supplement with, I think, especially as we get older. It's become, as I said, nicotinamide, adenitide, duonuclide. So forget about the pronunciations of all those things. I would recommend that you go out and get some NAD plus. There's a lot of different NADH. There's all sorts of different products out there. I sell one myself, and it's NAD. And again, as I said, that's called Mitochondria Renewal because that feeds that mitochondria, that powerhouse of the cell. And that's what you're looking for. You really want to do that. That's all about the mitochondria. You can take ribose for that. And again, that's just like, it's a dextrose, it's sugar. You put that, take about a teaspoon a day. I do every day. I never miss it. And then you just take that, and that will give you that extra. You feel a lot more energy, and it doesn't give you energy immediately. It builds up over time. You really got to take it on a consistent basis. And that's the way, just always remember, folks, health is not an event. Health is a habit, okay? So you got to do it every single day. So, and you got to get these great habits. And then we talked about mucuna and HGH, human growth hormone, which again, it's going to help stimulate those, that telomere renewal, okay? And then, we talked about that one. Then we talked about testosterone. Testosterone, one of the keys, 3 big keys to longevity, that you really can take, and you can supplement with these things along with these other ones, the NADH, it's really NADH is the one you want the most, but all these help you keep renewed at a cellular level, because cellular health is human health. If your cells are not healthy, you will not be healthy. If you have, if your cells are healthy, you will be healthy. It's as simple as that. Cellular health equals human health. So it's all rejuvenating those on an ongoing basis. Listen, I hope you got a lot out of this talk today about telomeres and rejuvenation. That's a really important subject. I'm Dr. Bob, and I'll see you next time. Detroit Health Group. I love you guys down there. See you then. See you soon. Take care.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. That was excellent, as usual. That was amazing. I don't know about you, but my cup runneth over, and we are out of time. We'll try and put all of the food preps on the website so you can go and get them, because we are out of time. We can't do that this time. So God bless all of you. And thanks again to Yvonne and Linda and Bob and Stephanie. Just a beautiful set of presentations and people. So I'm going to pray us out, and we'll see you next Tuesday. You've got your work cut out for you. So don't forget, the games begin right now. So get started, get ready, and do it. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this amazing program and all this information and all the people who have worked so hard to bring it to everyone who is on this Zoom session. And Lord Jesus, we know that this is just the beginning. Give each person courage and fortitude and strength and direction to do what it is they need to do to heal themselves and to strengthen their health and to strengthen their telomeres. And Lord Jesus, we just thank you for everyone, and we love you all. In thy name we pray, amen. Good night, everyone.
Good night.